Hey guys, it's Charlotte, and today we're reading another chapter of Nancy Drew and the Clue Cruise. Number 2, Scream for Ice Cream. Ice Cream Meltdown by Carolyn Keene. Illustrated by Mackie Pamatuna. Today I have my guest here with me today. Say hi, Frankie.
Oh. I mean hi.
That's better. And what is chapter 6 called? Okay guys, let's start reading. Ew, don't touch them, Beth warned. If they're popsicle sticks, they've been licked. It was Friday morning. The popsicle sticks from the weird message the night before were spread out on Nancy's desk. Licked popsicle sticks usually have ice cream stains on them, Nancy said. These don't. That makes it even weirder, George said. Nancy picked up a stick and flipped it over in her hand. Each stick has the words Lickety Sticks Company stamped on it, she said. That must be the place where these popsicle sticks were made. Who would leave such a creepy message? Beth asked. Thanks to Deidre, everyone knows we're trying to solve Kendra's case, Nancy said. So the person who stole Kendra's recipe probably wants us to give up. But who would have that many popsicle sticks? Beth asked. The girls thought in silence. Suddenly, George snapped her fingers and said, Kevin had a box of popsicles in his shopping basket. A box like that only has 6 popsicles. Only 6 popsicles, Nancy said. A lot more sticks were used to write that message. Maybe it's more than one person, Beth said. Daisy's fan club eats ice cream all the time. Jim and Barry make popsicles too. I wish we could go to a club meeting, Nancy said. Then we could find out what kind of ice cream they're making for the contest. George pointed to a calendar hanging over Nancy's desk. Today's Friday, she said. Doesn't the Jim and Barry fan club meet every Friday? How can we go to a meeting if we're not members, Beth said. The girls didn't say a word as she thought. Then Nancy had a brainstorm. I know, let's join the club, Nancy said. I don't want to join that dumb club, Beth whined. Daisy is so bossy. And we already have a club, George said. A detective club. We'll just be joining to get your top secret recipe, Nancy explained. We don't have to go to any meetings after that. The girls knew that Daisy lived on Sparrow Street. George turned it on the computer and found Daisy's street on a special map search site. It's only 4 blocks away, George announced. We can go there together. Bess and George already had their bikes and helmets at Nancy's house. Nancy grabbed hers and the 3 pedaled to Daisy's house. As the girls rode, Mr. Drippy's truck rambled past them. Henderson stuck his head out the window and shouted, Ew, it's the Clue Crew. How does he know we're the Clue Crew? Bess called from her bike. Probably from school, Nancy called back. We're famous, George declared with a smile. The 3 girls turned onto Sparrow Street. They parked their bikes against a big tree on the sidewalk. Then they walked up the cobblestone path to Daisy's house. A teenage boy opened the door after the girls knocked. You're here for my sister's meeting, he asked. So what's the secret password? Password? The girls traded worried looks. Cone, Nancy guessed. Sprinkles, Bess asked. Banana split? George said. The boy stared at the girl. Then he cracked up laughing. There is no password, he said. You fell for it. I am so good. George rolled her eyes, and the boy yelled for his sister. Brothers, she groaned. I got 2 of them. Daisy came running to the door. She looked surprised to see Nancy, Bess, and George. Hi, Daisy, Nancy said. We want to join the Jim and Barry fan club. You want to join right before the contest? Daisy asked. You don't want to steal our secret recipe, do you? No way, Nancy said. We have our own recipe for the contest, remember? Daisy folded her arms as she looked from Nancy to Bess and George. Okay, she said, but every member has to pass the taste test first. You mean taste ice cream? Bess asked. All right, George cheered. That's one pop quiz we want to take. Nancy, Bess, and George followed Daisy into the kitchen of the house. They walked through the kitchen. Daisy introduced them to her mother. Mrs. Dorfer was on her knees stuffing cans and boxes into a big blue recycling bag. Daisy then led the girls downstairs and into the basement. The fan club was sitting cross-legged on the floor. Melissa and Peter waved to the girls. Nancy thought most of the kids looked friendly. Peter's t-shirt says Marshmallow Marching, Bess whispered. Yucko! Shh, Nancy warned. We all have to love all the flavors or they won't let us join the club. Daisy walked to the desk near the door. She held up a writing pad and said, I just wrote our recipe nice and neat for Jim and Barry to read tomorrow. Nancy, Bess, and George stepped forward. Nuh-uh, Daisy said. She ripped the page off the writing pad. Not until you join the club. Sure, Nancy said. Let the taste test begin. Soon Nancy, Bess, and George were sitting on chairs in the middle of the room. Club members giggled as they tied colorful bandanas over the girls' eyes. Nancy couldn't see, but she could hear everyone chatting excitedly. She could even smell something sweet, like ice cream. George is first, Daisy said. Give her the bowl, Melissa. Nancy heard George's spoon clatter against ceramic. Then she heard a gulp as if George was swallowing. Well, Daisy asked. It definitely has a nutty taste, George's voice said, with a touch of caramel, and just a hint of, what is it already, a boy demanded. Peanut brittle blast, George said. The club members applauded. Correct, Daisy said. You can take your blindfold off, George. Next was Nancy's turn. She felt an ice cream bar being shoved into her hand. Taking a bite, she began to chew. The ice cream was crunchy as if it had bits of candy inside. I'm pretty sure this is toffee coffee, Nancy said. More thoughts. You guys are good. Nancy whipped off her blindfold. Still eating the ice cream, she turned to George and winked. Bess is last, Daisy said. Give her the ice cream, Melissa. Melissa smiled as she stepped forward with a bowl. Nancy gasped when she saw the mound of ice cream inside the bowl. It was bright green. Oh no, Nancy thought. It's Marshmallow Martian. Hey guys, Chapter 7 is... Okay guys, hope you enjoyed it. Chapter 7 is called Candy Handed. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell. Keep reading, keep dreaming. See you guys next video. Bye. Bye.